community action to transform the Cale habitat.
So Andy, I'm Matt from Catch.
I'm Andy, Wessex Water.
Wessex Water, right, okay. So we were talking about the reason for doing today, and back in 2012 we did a electrofish with the Environment Agency, and we pulled the sum total of 5 fish out of this river, and that was mainly due to an environmental incident previous years from a cheese factory, a local cheese factory in the town. And it killed off an awful lot of fish in the river. So in conjunction with the Environment Agency, we agreed to have a count, and unfortunately that's what we pulled out.
How about the eel? Where was that eel from? Was that later?
That was later. That was further upstream actually.
Okay.
That was north of the pollution incident.
Right.
Do you want to explain what the purpose of this is?
Well, I understand that you had some more fish put in, some chub and roach.
And dace.
Several thousand?
4,500.
4,500 fish.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Hopefully those fish are there, and the reports that the fish are still around. Certainly the chub. And so we're going to fish a 100-metre section and actually count how many fish are there. We're also going to have a look-see further upstream and downstream, just to see how many different species we can find and get some idea of the density of fish, to see whether they're reproducing and
So to see an improvement. Yeah, great. These photos here are from the restock that we did.
And this is the Environment Agency.
This guy here is from the Environment Agency,
Yeah.
and he turned up with his IBC and pumps and stuff,
Yes.
full of sort of 2-inch long fish, you
Yes.
know. And as a result of that, I mean, we involved the local schools on that. We contacted all of them, and the kids. It was great because the kids were able to come down and scoop, you know,
Yeah.
put a net full of fish into
Yeah,
the river,
that's
and it was
exciting,
great.
isn't it?
Somebody asked us the other week how much it costs to run Catch, and we were like, well, it can cost nothing. It can cost a fortune. It depends what you want to do in the river, and you know, if you're litter picking and balsam picking or pulling and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, these rock deflectors, they were all in the river, so it was just
shifting rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
There's a lot of enthusiasm for it.
Good. I'm going to get my waders on.
Yeah, I'm starting to sweat a bit now.
We've got a battery here that powers this compressor that will run this aerator. So we'll keep the water nicely oxygenated. So any fish that we do catch can live in there quite happily while we finish off the survey, and then we can measure them and count them at the end of the survey. This is our backpack electric fishing equipment.
Yeah.
Get 2 sorts. This is backpack. The traditional sort uses a little generator, and then you're restricted to the generator by a lead. This gives you a bit more versatility because you're not tied by long leads as to where you go.
Yeah.
So a battery in there. This is like the control box, and we have 2.
And these are
2
the
nodes.
things that put the
That's
charge
right.
into the water.
We've got an on-off switch there. Then there's a cathode, which is this braided copper wire, which trails behind. So the current goes between the two. Fish are attracted towards the anode, repelled by the cathode. So the idea is I'll be walking through from the stop net, which is just downstream of the bridge there. Walking up through, pressing the switch. It emits a high-pitched beep whenever it's on. Yeah. Whenever it's on, don't have your hands in the water, basically. If you are going to put your hands in the water, tell me before you do, to prevent me from turning it on and giving it a little bit of an electric shock. Fish that are within about 1 metre from here are actually attracted towards the anode. When they get closer, when they're about 1 metre away, they get an involuntary swimming reflex where they actually swim towards the anode. Ideally, you net them then, because they're minimum sort of stress to the fish. As they get closer to the anode, they go into tetanus, so they actually go into spasms. Ideally, you catch them before they get into that situation, but they still recover from that tetanus. So you can still net them, put them in oxygenated water, and they recover. 2 buckets.
Yeah. Alright, good.
How far down the river they go?
100 metres.
This is the stone loach here, the long skinny one. Beautiful.
Got a stone loach though. Oh, hang on. Couple of more in there. See, we've already topped Okay, we've already topped what we found on the last electrofish back in 2013.
I can guarantee we're missing those because I can't actually see what we're doing.
No, that's a snag, isn't it?
Yeah. So it is guesswork really. That
Went some.
Is anybody nerdy enough to know the Latin name of the?
Corsoscobia is bullhead.
There you go.
I don't know stone loach, but there are tons of bullhead. Should we just let the bullhead go? And we've got enough for.
Yeah, we've got enough.
We'll be here all day, otherwise.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's good, great sign. That's really nice.
Good news.
Do you think it'd be a good idea to get some of those, one or two
Yeah.
of those in one of the aquarium on a table?
Yeah. Leave a bucket on it.
Stone loach and massive bullhead
We'll leave them be, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're just out to say that there are a lot of bullhead.
Good
a lot of
stuff.
stone.
All right, Andy, that sounds good.
Yeah. Hopefully, catch something a little larger.
Sounds good.
Might as well see how many different species we can get.
Sorry, Dave, you all right?
Oh, we've got single crayfish.
Oh, God.
Did you know they were there?
Yeah, we did, unfortunately.
So these are the invasive American crayfish.
Oh wow. I've never seen something.
And they're called signals because they've got red claws that they signal with and tell all their competitors to back off.
Back off, indeed.
Should we
All
put
nice
it in there?
native.
We might as well put it in the
Yeah, put it in.
aquarium.
It's interesting for the children to look at, isn't it?
Definitely.
No.
So this is a roach.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, they're lovely fish and they grow a bit bigger.
Yeah.
These guys, yeah, so you can see one way that you can tell these is the really orange eye
Right.
and slightly orange fins. These are little, these are roach, these ones. Yeah. So they will feed on little insects, they'll feed on things like silkweed as well.
So what feeds on them?
So again, when they're smaller, perch will eat these, and pike as well.
Well, they eat anything,
Exactly, they'll eat fish this big quite easily.
Like, isn't it for like camouflage? Like their cases.
Yeah, so the case caddises build a case for camouflage and just all round protection really. You can get species that don't build a case. They tend to be a bit bigger.
Case or twig?
That's the case, yeah.
Yep.
That's the case.
I'll try and get it.
Let's see if we can find one made out of twigs and stuff. Because I find that really interesting.
So we got a case caddis over here. This one, and it's moving about. Okay, so they can get bigger than that, can't they?
Shrimp?
Yeah.
Quite.
Like what we eat.
Oh no, they're different. Yeah, that's about as big as they get. They're not everywhere, but wherever they are, they tend to be very keen to eat lots of fish like
It's a
these.
stiff idea losing
Very
hair.
nutritious.
Come on, I got some.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased with this. This is, I know. Aren't you?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. We're doing really well. Yeah, Dave. It's quite a. That's what they're like when they're stunned.
We might not need to now, Tom. We might have got enough results from here. This here is where the monsters live under this bridge.
One of them now.
Yeah. Nothing at all. Probably because whatever's down there is so big, it's just not effective.
Yeah, the Sunday comes over.
It's interesting to know where we've got poor coverage of fish though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much, yeah. I mean, in low flows, we often see them here, don't we? Because you get that little bit of flow coming out of the outlet there, which curiously is not running.
And we like to
We should go.
It's shallow around here.
It's shallow around there.
No, Kingfisher just came. Oh, Kingfisher, really? Yeah.
It's not right. It's my breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll go and have a review of. Yep. God knows we can get up here and I'd love to see you around here this morning. When we get to enjoy it, you know.
I think as we get them out, put them into a bucket, then people could carry them back into the river. It's unlikely to be a chain gang.
A line of buckets.
Do you want to catch the fish? Oh yeah, we have. What have we got in there? What is that? A little fry, so a little baby minnow. Excellent first catch. I would think 20mm minnow. Just, oh no, it's still there. There we go. Right.
I got some more in it.
So this fellow is 100, we're 30mm, 130.
What is it?
I'm just going to, it's either a chub or a dace. Let's have a look at his dorsal fin there.
Oh yeah.
And it's a chub.
Hey.
Tiny one.
Yeah. Okay, another minnow.
I think that was
Right.
3 big ones at once.
So we've got a roach.
4 big ones.
Roach 170. Alright, big chub of 215. And roach of 185. And a chub of 180.
It looks like they've got gold there.
Can we have stop throwing those back?
Go on.
There we go. Go on.
Go on, dig deep. Right down to the bottom. Lovely. Oh, look at that! Look at that! There she blows.
What have we got there? You can have a guess what fish that is?
What do you reckon?
Chub.
Yeah, I think it is a chub. It's a small chub, so it's 158 chub.
It's just such a great result. It's a shame the weather wasn't slightly better because we would have had a huge amount of people in the
it's just
play
good to have
park.
that level of interest.
But yeah, there's still been a good amount, hadn't there?
Not so bad having more fish than people.
Yeah, more fish than people. Yeah.
That can be your tagline.
Yeah, that's right. More fish than people. Once we'd finished the electrofishing on the 100-metre stretch in the park area, we decided just to do a little bit of spot electrofishing further down. The delight of the day, to say the least, was a beautiful brown trout that came up in whilst Andy was doing his survey into the net, which was absolutely fabulous. Now, the reason for that being so good is if the river can sustain brown trout, then everything else, species-wise, should fall underneath. So it was a good result for the group and a great moment. Unfortunately, we didn't get it on the video. Dave was further upstream fiddling with his cameras, but we have got this nice photo. Okay then, folks, well, here we are, we're at the end of the day. We've done the electrofish down through the stretch of the Cale, through the recreation ground. We've obviously seen the rest of the footage. It's been a great day. I'm pleased. I'm pleased as punch. You know, what we found today is beyond all our expectations, and it's certainly going to do well to spur the group along, and it gives us a good indicator of what's going on in the River Cale. And obviously I'm hugely thankful for everybody who's come down. Andy's the expert. He's going to give us a little bit of a summary of his feelings and how the health of the Cale is. So this really, Andy's, is what am I trying to say? His opinion's more important than mine, let's say that. So over to you, my friend.
Yeah, well, all in all, very good day. Lots and lots of small fish, which is ideal. A lot of bullhead, minnows, stone loach, way more than we could catch in town. Probably about two bullhead per square metre, about 1 stone loach per square metre. Very good. That's a lot of fish, probably more than we see in most of our rivers. And then on top of that, quite a few chub, roach, dace, and a brown trout. I think we've got 7 species in total. Fabulous. And all in all, looking very healthy.
Oh, well, that's great news. So as you know, as Andy says, all in all, it's wonderful to find a brown trout. Is incredible.
when I was fishing the river when I was probably about 12, so that's obviously not that many years ago. I'd never seen a trout in the river, so to see that come up today it's just fabulous. So you know, and I'm very grateful that everybody's come along. Very grateful for Wessex Water, very grateful obviously for Stour Catchment Initiative, very grateful for Dorset Wildlife Trust, and everybody's come down. And the Environment Agency are always incredibly useful to us and very good with information and knowledge and spurring us along. So thank you very much to them, and it's been a good day. Watch your space, more to come. Sorry? Get out of it. Did I mention everybody? I didn't forget anyone, did I? That's what I